Hello, good afternoon, people. My name is Binga Folabi, and I'm a master's student studying media production at the University of Salford. This video that you're watching is actually an introduction to two films that I've recently shot for my final master's project, which is about integration, racism, inclusion, and exclusion in the United Kingdom. So, what you'll be seeing are two films. One is a drama, and the other is a documentary. Both were directed and produced by myself. Obviously, I had other people helping out in the crew as well. But the main reason why I'm posting this video today is to try and get some feedback to see if the drama tackles the issues that I've mentioned before: inclusion, exclusion, integration, racism in the United Kingdom better than the documentary, or whichever, just to find out which tackles this subject matter adequately, which you like best and why do you like it best, and if you can kindly fill the questionnaire that goes with this video, that'd be absolutely great. So if you have 30 minutes, about 30 minutes to watch the video, that'd be great. And I'll be compiling the results of this questionnaire as part of my research, and you'll be doing me a great service as well. Thank you very much, guys, and have a wonderful time watching the videos.
Asante, her marks were 88% out of 100. I'll get the paper in a bit, but that was the high score from the school, 88, and overall internationally. And it was marked by 3 different judges, and she still won it. So it was a very good essay from all indication.
If you don't have love in your heart for England, and if you're going to come here to milk England, I won't let that happen. I take a stand for that. I do have a lot of love for the British, and I'm proud to be British, like a lot of my friends are. It means a lot to me in the sense that I want to change a lot of things for England, really. I was quite happy to when it was chosen to be Brexit. I was quite happy about that, because I am going to support Brexit, mainly because of crime.
Well, probably the start of it go back to the 14th century. That seemed to crack on with Britain's newfound nautical sense for global exploration, wanting to chart the world, and to them all these other unknown places, seemingly leading to the exploitation of hundreds of millions. Over 400 years.
People were actually brought here to work and to rebuild the country after the wars. And so a lot of people came here and contributed massively to economically and to culturally, in every aspect of life, to the building of the country. But the bigger kind of irony for me is about Britain as a country, as a coloniser of the world. Britain colonised India for hundreds of years, and this idea of, we're probably the only country that would, colonise half the world and then say we don't want anybody to come here.
Edwards has been one of the founding members of this organisation, contributing immensely to Saturday School.
I just want to share one or two little things with you. In the beginning, as Mr. Smith said, we were very active in trying to get somewhere where our children could learn about their history, learn about their culture, and accept the fact that they are in a foreign country and therefore has to obey the laws and the rules of the country. I remember that the National Front, they just wanted us to leave Britain. We shouldn't be here. But like everything else, we decided that we'd sold up everything from home and we were going to stay here because they went into our countries and took from us what we had. One particular time, they came driving up in an open back Jeep, shouting, "Nigger, nigger, nigger, oi, 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 go back home." We paid them no mind. But then they began to get very arrogant. So they drove up our street another day and they said, "We are coming to get you niggers. You must go home." And they were silly enough to tell us when they were going to come. Where we lived, there was, call it a croft, and they said, stay there, that's all you can do, stay there. So the date that they gave us, we decided we will go onto the croft. We had a meeting between ourselves, yeah, and we decided that we would go on the croft. So what we did was we gathered our kids and we went on the croft. We took blankets and we took the children with us there. And we waited for them to come. And then we heard the cars and so on that they were driving, they blowing their horns, shouting and screaming at us. They didn't know what we had in store for them. And as they approached the croft, we said to the children, lie down on the croft. So they lay down and we put a blanket over them. And we said, when we say to get up, then you get up. Apart from that, stay there. And as they approached us, they were on the road, we were on the croft. As they approached us, they were vile, yeah. And they then came out of their cars and started marching up the street toward us. And as they got to us, they came across on the croft. And we said to the children, get up. And they got up and they ran away from where we were. And as the National Front came closer and closer, we got our sticks and our bats and we beat them so badly. We were sorry for them after. We beat them, they ran off. I don't think the National Front ever came back to my side.
In my city, in Manchester, we have what used to be called the Curry Mile in Rusholme, and it's changed and evolved with the different communities coming into Manchester, and now it's probably more of a sort of Middle Eastern mile. And this strip of road has always been occupied by restaurants and shisha bars and all of these different places with lots of people from lots of different communities. And it just makes Manchester dynamic. It just makes Manchester brilliant for me.
Back in the days, I made my song, War is So Bad in My Side, and we want all of us to unite right now with all what's going on along the way. War is so bad in my side, oh yeah. War is so bad in my side, oh yeah. War is so bad, yeah, 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 yeah. in a outside, ooh yeah. In a outside, we're gonna play. Say man a kill man, now feel no way. Say them a kill Larry and them a kill Ray. All bad boy have a price to pay. Say war, 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 every day. War in a side in the UK. War, 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 every day. Oh, bad boy has a price to pay. War is so bad, so bad, so bad, so bad in a mud side. Must stop the fight in a mud side. Yeah, well, I like to pick up all everybody in the mud side. It's time we unite. You know, with the fussing and fight, we need to unite and stop fussing and stop the fighting. The youths them, I cry out for them. Yeah, they take away the youth club, take away everything for the youths, but we pray one day life will be better for them. Peace and out.
I remember actually staying at my grandfather's house with my father, and I would sneak downstairs late at night and they would be having their supper, and it was like a big bowl of fufu and gari, and we'd sit there in the evening and they'd give me some, and that was my first kind of taste of African food too. My grandfather was born in Nigeria. He was from a village called Umubiara, I think is how you pronounce it. But he told me that he was the chief of his village. And so, it made me feel really special because I kind of felt like, my kind of grandfather had some kind of royalty, or there was something there. He also told myself and my two sisters growing up that I was a prince and they were princesses, so it was almost kind of a fantasy kind of thing that we had going on. You see people from different walks of life. You go out and eat Indian food. You understand what I mean? You have black friends. You have Asian friends. You grow up with them. They're part of your core group. My children, they were raised in China. They were raised in the UK. They're mixed race. They have thousands of years of history in their name. If they were to grow up to feel ill will towards another race, I would have failed as a father. Tommy Robinson, I think his name. How wonderful it would be if we could take his DNA and trace his family tree back. How wonderful if it would come up as he originated in Africa.
This hate, like, oh God, we're gonna wipe you out. We're gonna wipe you off the map. England is a small island, literally. And their intentions are to take over England, basically. Put their own religion there. They don't want the English people to be in England. And that is a fact, believe me. I've mixed with people and I've heard them talk how they're going to turn west into east and turn the east into west.
We live in a time when I feel like, on the one hand, people are becoming quite fragmented, but on the other hand, I see people coming together in communities in ways they haven't before. A few weeks ago, there was a celebration of the life of Joe Cox, the MP that was murdered. And all across the country, people came together on their streets, in their local communities, in their gardens, and had events bringing together and showing the strength of diverse communities. So I think that for me, in these situations of division because of hate for something, that love and community will always triumph over those things.
Slavery only got one other definition, and that's racism. Yeah.
So I think the lesson we all need to learn is to forgive. Slavery, we have all suffered slavery. I've suffered racism when I came to England. Horrible racism, particularly from Cockneys.
That the media is so large. I think it's so intense these days. When you get an introduction to a new theme, you get that you get a brand new conditioning, if not, to a cause. So we're all susceptible in many ways.
Holy wars and wars on religion. Since we've had religion, those wars have been there. that unrest has been there. People standing against other religions has always been there. So it's nothing new. I just think the exposure is new.
I think there's a lot around the persecution of Muslims that is really, really bad. I think it's so unfair, it's so incredibly manipulated by the media that I think these are really, really huge factors in what might push somebody to, to react. I think, and I don't know what that reaction looks like. And as I've said, I'm not sure about the term of terrorism, because I think when we talk about terrorism generally in the media, we're talking about people of colour. When we talk about terrorists, it's always people of colour. But actually, we have the killer of Joe Cox, who was never classed as a terrorist, but he was still someone who created, he killed somebody, he killed an MP. So I find the idea of terrorism is racist in a sense.
Britain was created on the proceeds of what we took off other people. That's why the British Empire was so strong. We took everything from everybody. And we brought it back to the UK and we invested it in the UK. We grew, But I remember my partner saying, we visited like a temple in China, and she was saying to me that many, many hundreds of years ago, the British invaded, the British and French, I think, invaded, and they stole all the artifacts. And still to this day, China's trying to trace it back and get those artifacts sent back. And there's been a number of artifacts that have been sent back, but who's to say that we've done things right? Our country was built on the misery of other nations. If people were to look back in time and see how bad we were, and we were bad, we don't have no place to stand. So when other people criticize other cultures and people, it's just ignorance. It's ignorance because it just means that they don't know where they've come from themselves.
But I say solutions are always better than problems.
Son, look at me. You see what I'm wearing? African clothes. And anybody will tell you, Mama Edwards wears nothing else but African clothes, because I am an African. I might have other linkages behind me, but first and foremost, I am an African. Can't take that from me. No matter how much, people talk about this and that, we were, the things we were our foreparents were subjected to. I am surprised that we are even alive.
I used to believe that life, in the end, is what we make of it. That as we lay our beds, so must we lie in it.
Maman, I told you I'll file for the appeal. I've been busy at work. Oui, ça va. Je t'appellerai. Je t'aime aussi.
We're not given to struggles that we can't deal with. Yet some troubles tarry 1,000 years. Like our forebears, we taste of it. Bloody wars. Sweet, sour, the loin desires. And though we know the consequences of our sheer greed, we are overcome by the force that holds us bound. Children, women, our seas have received. Fair, neon-eyed, our Saviour deceived. We, they, let us be.
Hey, sexy.
Oh, hey, Mace.
Someone's looking delectable this morning. Let me guess. He's taking you out to dinner at an exquisite restaurant tonight.
Well, let me guess, you're out of work and I'm the provider.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? If I wasn't gay, I'd be all over you like a rash.
Wow. You are gay, so.
Have you heard about Mr. McDermott?
No, what about him?
He's dropped out.
He's done what?
Apparently, he would prefer an English doctor.
Are you serious? What century is he from? I need to go speak to Dr. Dirt.
Okay.
Bye.
Mila, we have a situation.
What is it?
Yesterday, Mr. McDermott dropped out from the trials. Something about him requiring an English gentleman to conduct his trials.
Are you serious? What jerk?
Yes, but now we have bigger problems. MHRA are going on recess next Friday if we don't conduct the trials and convince the board about the viability of Neofederal.
They'll scrap the whole project. We'll be out in the cold. What do we need to do?
I need you to go through that long list one more time. Find a new patient with all the right traits.
I'm on it.
Just make sure you check they don't share McDermott's prejudice. We don't want to go through all that craziness again.
I mean, I've got Muslim friends as well. They're really nice people, you know.
Well, if Islam is such a peaceful religion, then how come almost all terrorists are Muslims? How do you explain that?
Well, the same reason why almost all gangsters are black, innit? The media brainwashes us with all these crazy reports. The war on terror, it's nothing but a war on fucking Muslims.
Fuck off, man. You mean the media killed all those innocent children leaving the Ariana Grande's concert? And they also killed all those poor people on London Bridge, yeah? Give me a break, man.
Mate, don't believe all you hear. Don't believe everything you hear.
Hi, Mila. Hey. Yo, Cass. Cass.
It's nothing.
Are you sure? What's going on?
It's complicated. I don't really want to talk about it.
Okay, why don't we order a takeaway, go back to my flat and talk? Yeah? Should we do that? Okay.
Okay, I'll be back. Why?
Sure. Didn't know you were applying for permanent residence
Well, yeah, I didn't know I had to.
until Brexit.
Yeah. But they rejected me, so looks like we're in the same boat.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's alright. Cheers! It's okay. There's 27 other countries in the EU I can go to. But what about you? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna have to go underground.
How? In this country?
Scotland. Anywhere I can go under the radar. You know Phil? Well, last week his cousin was threatened by the Home Office for deportation. She's been trying to apply for a passport. For God's sake, she's been living there for 30 years. Same spot, never lived anywhere else. Some law back in 1983 means that she's not entitled to a passport anymore. So that means her 3 siblings are British citizens and she's not.
That is so unfair.
Damn right.
And you were born in 84?
Yeah. So I'm in the same boat.
I'm so sorry, Kaz.
You know, Recently, I've been having the strongest feeling that I'm being followed. What was that? What was that?
Someone's banging on the neighbour's door.
I told you. I'm being followed. Shit. Never done anything wrong, always on the right side, and still, these fuckers.
It's alright, Kaz.
Baby, you don't understand. I ain't ready to go back to Jamaica. They're taking people back to their former colonies. It's not right, but the law. What can we do?
This is silly. Come on, let's drink. And I said I had a surprise for you. Yeah? Sit down. Let's take this off. Sit right here.
I'm liking this surprise.